folks, and welcome to day one of our group healing. And what an interesting day, well, morning it has been so far. Um, it's been a bit of a mind blower, really, the kind of stuff that's come up in relation to the energy field. And the main thing that's come up are the stories that we tell ourselves about what we should be doing. Also, as well, the conditioning that is in the energy field swirling around and affecting our behavior on a daily basis. I mean, honestly, it's vast, but also as well, I'm looking down because this is where I'm channeling from here. The grid is here, and well, one of the grids. Um, when I first started to channel this morning, the emotion that has been held within the energy field, emotions that we struggle with, emotions that we struggle to make peace with, emotions that we struggle to understand. And as I was channeling, one of the things I felt was we live in a world where there is ADHD on the rise. And I think it's predominantly women as well. And when I was really connecting into the energy fields, what came up was noise and chatter and stuff and nonsense that we hold on to and other stuff that we absorb from the TV, from movies, from theatre, from books, from the news. You can't help but do it from supermarkets, the shopping mall, hospitals, workspaces, other people's narratives, etc. And it was just I was shown this noisiness that's in the air. Do you know something? I do wonder on some level if this rising ADHD hasn't in some way got its roots in the energy field and the overstimulation that we've got. We live in a world where we're overstimulated, we're pushed to be high achievers, we're pushed to be big time, we're pushed to be big time consumers, we're pushed to be big time eaters, where our body is, I mean, pummeled with stuff every day, to-do lists and bang, 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 all this noise and that gets locked in the energy field. If you think the energy field is like a sponge that's that's absorbing this stuff, because once we really started to clear it, the chatter went right down and the silence came in. And one of the things I'm doing with this group healing is working with the elements. So fire, water, wind, and earth. Each stage that I channel today and tomorrow, we will be working with those elements in separate blocks. Um, you know, fire is transformation, water is cleansing, the air can be invigorating, and the earth can be grounded in these new energies that want to come in. But also, as well, the roller coaster of astrology, geomagnetic storms, solar flares, Schumann resonances, portals that we've gone through this year, and also, as well, your own personal stuff has been phenomenal on a phenomenal level. And yes, if that makes sense, let's pull some cards. So I'm using The Sacred Destiny by Denise Lynn. I did shuffle a card for us before I came on camera. And what happened was this fell out, which is a totally different card from a totally different deck. And it was in and it popped out. Can't make it up, can you? The Lovers, which is about healing. It's about Eden. It's about choice. It's about a deep cleanse to allow the divine come in. It's about all the mountains that we've climbed throughout our life, but making peace with those mountains. And I just thought, back to Eden, the relationship with ourselves as well. So let's take three cards for today's group healing. What messages want to come through for those that have taken part in the group healing? What messages want to come through for today's part of the healing? Ooh, interesting. Yes. And the bottom is gateway. When you're doing a healing, this is what we want. Itchy noses as well. We want gateway. I mean, just look at that. The unicorns, this colour of the sky. This is a gateway. As you know, there's some group healings that you do, and I've said this before, you think, That's going to be quite a steady one, that. Whenever I think that, it brings in something totally unique and deep and if you think about it, we shouldn't be shocked by this because we take our energy fields everywhere. And if you think of it being like a sponge all of the time, and it's really made me realize that, and I'm guilty of this, the need for cleansing. So, sage, Palo Santo, Agua de Florida water, if you use angel sprays, crystals, salt showers using the core sea salt. So, if you've had a one-on-one session with me, you know about the core sea salt. Himalayan salt, salt baths if you do the baths, using color, using, what color am I drawn to? When you stand in the shower, what and the rain and the water's coming down, what are you imbuing that water with? This is really going to be important going forward, not from a point of fear, but to learn what can happen when we neglect the energy field. I remember, being really religious with it, going shopping, coming in and smudging. Very rarely do it now. We get cocky. We get, I don't need to smell me fine. And actually we do. We wouldn't dream of wearing the same clothes day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. We would smell. They would possibly start to rot. They would start to look yuck. The same thing's happening with the energy field. We're not cleaning it enough, and we should be. Where's my sage? Let me lean over here. Simple things. Lighting the end of it, rolling it, moving it around down the front of the body, across the crown chakra, down the arms, um, like that, around the fingers, back of the arms, armpits, between the legs as well, because again, that's where we lose our, that's where we go to the toilet. So that's where we lose all the old energy that we no longer round the back, clothes, our spaces. Let me just pop that there before there's an accident. Our spaces, our bedrooms. Are we struggling to sleep in our bedrooms? What's the energy like in our homes? Because we can go on about the outside world, but do we watch a lot of horror movies? Do we watch a lot of trashy TV? Do we watch a lot of trashy social media? Is there a lot of arguments where we live? Is there a lot of arguments within our home? What were the previous owners like? These are all things that, as we move through this process of awakening ascension, we're going to have to think more deeply about, because as we start to increase our frequency, we're not going to be able to get away with what we got away with 5, 10, 15 years ago. So the cards that have come, we've got the gateway at the bottom, but another kind of gateway card is the pleasure zone. And, a lot of the depression, a lot of the anxiety that people have been feeling, a lot of the lack of despondency for life shit, everything's hard. I'm this, I'm that, I can't do that, I'm hopeless, is actually stories that are kept within the energy field that is keeping us here when we need to be going through there. It's kind of scary, but not in a, oh, but I think it's a wake-up call. I think it's a wake-up call. The foods that we eat affects our energy field as well. Medications can affect the energy field. How many of you are on medication, regular medication, cleanse it? So, for example, I'll use this because this is some Taminu balm from Tropic that I'm using at the minute. So, say it's a pack of tablets. It's a pack of tablets that we've just cut in from Pharma. Yeah. And we're going to cleanse it. And we're going to cleanse it. Anything that no longer serves us, where's my little grid? Cleansing it, purifying it, taking what we need in order to ease the pain. Yeah. You know, what's it picked up while it's being delivered to you? What's it picked up whilst it's been in a pharmacy around poorly people? Where's my little grid? I don't know. It's a flower of life. It's like it's a flat crystal that is right behind this laptop. It's a flat crystal, and then sometimes I'll put a water bottle on top of it. So putting your water bottle, you can get it with Metatron's cube on, and you can get it with the flower of life, and you just use it as a coaster. You can also put medications on it. You can put your water on it, so water can be reprogrammed. So when we look at water, What are we asking of the water? Are we saying, can you cleanse my energy field? Can you remove things from me that no longer serve me? Can you send healing to the parts of my body that need it? Sound as well. That can help. Not necessarily able to pick it up. Think so. Rattle, rattling around. Do you know when you feel a little bit judgery and they say, oh, somebody's just walked across my grave? That's because your soul's not fully embodied. So you get, oh, and you feel a bit, oh, someone's walked over my grave. Your soul needs to be grounded in. And this can help to ground in. Okay. So again, like you would sage, if you can't get hold of a shamanic rattle, look at that as a, if you can't get hold of a shamanic rattle, you can use shrubs from your you can go into the woods, you can go into your garden and shrubs with leaves on. You can bind them with string and you can just rattle it around yourself. So there's always going to be things that you can do. Um, Grounding, barefoot, etc. And also, as well, being able to count our blessings, being able to acknowledge our blessings. That yes, life may not be where we want to be at this time, but we're in such a different space than what we were yesterday, last night, last month. Um, Being aware, and this is something that came to me last night about how as humans we're still so switched off from source. When we look back and we think, I'm awake and I'm this, we're going to realize that we barely even scratched the surface, that the connection to source that we have lost, but we're regaining it to a point of I don't feel right. And you tap into that energy field, you know, when the body starts to flare up with a virus, I've got a cold, oh, I've got a sickness bug, oh, I've got a headache or whatever. Whereas I don't feel right today. We're gonna have to get used to looking at, I wonder what the Schumann's doing. I wonder where I've been today. I wonder who I've spoken to where I just don't feel right. Or you feel drained. You've been out somewhere and I've shared that story, haven't I? I have shared that story a lot on this channel where I once went into Palm Stretcher and all of a sudden this fear came over me, like literal fear where I could have just started to shake on the spot. And I was like, what the hell is this? Because it didn't feel like mine. And my guide said, it's the couple behind you. There's domestic violence between that couple. And you're picking up on the wife's fear of a husband. And when I say fear, it was horrific. And I looked behind me and there was, and you could tell that this woman was, she was bent in. She was, it was horrific. And I remember straight away because I realized what it was, I was able to cleanse it. I was able to look after myself. I was able to also step out and step away and allow her to need what she needed to get. But also, as well, sometimes I think you see this a lot, and it can be a bit of a trigger when people just want to save everybody and heal everybody, and they don't allow the fact that people have chosen certain things to experience as part of their evolution. And we can become so drained because we're sending healing to this, sending healing thoughts to that, sending healing thoughts to that. You know, yes, sometimes I know with the shamanism, sometimes we'll be required to sit down and do some land healing if there's been a war or a fire, but I'm not constantly interfering in people's stuff, sending positive thoughts, because ultimately, what's going to come from all of this and what humanity is going to realize is it's not up to somebody else to save you, it's up to yourself. And we can really lose our energy. We can be thinking about everybody else's stuff. And I come across people that are so wrapped up in the people around them and the pain that those people are suffering that they can't see their own pain. And they're literally tipping from an empty cup and it's making them ill. So I feel like there's another card that wants to come up here, and that's the power. Regaining your power, regaining your focus. Um, so we've gone through things you can do. I would, during this healing, meditate daily, drink plenty of water, ground. If you can get out into nature and fresh air, get out into nature and fresh air. Gentle movement, nice wholesome foods. Obviously the post and pre-session care on the group healing tab on the website about what to avoid. Um, Being really gentle with yourself, loving with yourself, compassionate, doing that energy cleansing yourself. So get some sage. If you've not got sage, have you got some what they called incense sticks? Have you got a singing bowl? Have you got a crystal that you can run around your energy field and then, cleanse it afterwards? You can leave it in the moonlight, you can leave it in the sun, as long as it's not a clear quartz, because if you leave that in the sun, you're going to set fire to your house. Um, Shower, bath, using salt, using sound, clapping as well, laughter, joy, exercise. All of this is good. Do some and keep it up afterwards. It's been interesting, and I can't wait for this afternoon's cleansing. Um, Again, with all of these group healings, tomorrow is day 2, but do remember that, we're doing this in the middle of solar flares again, geomagnetic storms, Schumann, just after an eclipse. We're building up to a full moon. And you're also, once you've had healing, you're in release and healing for the next 2 weeks, whether it's a one-on-one session or a group healing. So for the next 2 weeks, there will be things coming up. So journaling, being present with yourself. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is, oh, that's a coincidence. That's come up. It's coming up for a reason. Because maybe ultimately some things really do need permission from you to release. Because that's part of your journey with this healing. So, yes, take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and well done for putting your name down for it again, because there's a lot going on organically at the minute with the universe, with all, like I said, the storms, the solars, the Schumann, the astrology, the portals. I mean, we're also now starting to gear up to 1111 portal, to then go, I'm going to also go deeper with my healing and doing your daily practices as well. And many of you will say that after you've done a group healing, you will take it on yourself. And I just think that's really admirable of people to be so into their healing that they're not just going to go, there you go, Claire, sort me out, that they're going to take this process on themselves afterwards in their own sacred way. Because the truth is, nobody knows you like you. Um, so, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.